Hey there everyone, Jolly Julian here, your virtual guide through the virtual world through virtual reality. I'm excited to come to you today with a very quick, I'm going to try and get through this very quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each of these things, but I want to give you some of the very best non-game experiences in virtual reality, specifically for the Quest 2 and the Quest 3, where you don't need a PC, a powerful computer to run it. It can all be done in these incredible self-contained headsets that are very inexpensive by comparison to the other options that are out there. So let's get into the non-game experiences. Let's virtual our reality. Not everyone is a gamer that gets into virtual reality. In fact, a lot of my friends that are into virtual reality don't really play a lot of computer games, but they love what virtual reality brings to their life. The feeling of immersion, the feeling of being in another world, the ability to connect with other people in social ways that go far beyond doing something through a Zoom call or even playing a game on a flat computer screen. So that's what we're going to talk about today, my favorite non-game VR experiences. These are in no particular order, by the way. They're not ordered by my favorite to my least favorite, because these are things that I use on a regular basis. Number one, let's start with big screen VR. If you enjoy movies, watching movies, going out to movies with friends, imagine being able to do that just by putting on your headset and all of a sudden you're transported into a movie theater where you can watch movies, watch Netflix, watch TV shows with your friends, and it's almost like they're sitting right next to you. You can have conversations with them and everything. Big screen VR is an amazing experience that I use on a regular basis to connect with my friends. It started during the pandemic when we couldn't spend time together, when movie theaters were closed. All of a sudden we had this way to be able to go into movie theaters and watch movies on a gigantic screen in front of us. It feels life-size. I cannot recommend big screen VR enough. Next up, for the artist in each one of us, how about a little oil painting in VR? And I'm talking about Vermilion. It's an incredible experience where you're sitting there in this nice, calm little kind of artist studio with a canvas in front of you and a whole bunch of paint brushes, and you can mix your own paint, and it's like you're painting an actual oil painting. The mechanics of how they did this just blow my mind, because I have lost hours and hours, not being a painter myself, but I've lost hours and hours in there pretending to oil paint and creating things that actually looked like oil paintings, even down to the texture of the canvas. Really a wonderful experience if you just want to chill out, if you want to exercise some of your creative abilities, or if you just want to see if you would enjoy painting in the real world and don't want to have to go out and buy a bunch of expensive paints, canvases, easels, and paintbrushes. Try out Vermilion for yourself. Another great one is called Gravitysketch, another great way to exercise some of the artistic abilities in you. Gravitysketch, unlike Vermilion, is a 3D sketching thing. It can be used to create 3D models, to create CAD type experiences if you want to see what something would be like in 3 dimensions. It's really kind of hard to describe until you get in there and you start creating with it. It's really neat. And the tools that you use are very intuitive and very easy to use. And there are tons and tons of walkthroughs and tutorials and so forth on YouTube that will walk you through exactly how to use Gravitysketch yourself. So if you've ever dreamt of creating a little model or something like that in 3D and being able to twist it around in front of you and see it from all different sides and even paint it and so forth, you can do all that in Gravitysketch. Next up, if you're a space enthusiast, I am. I get that from my father. My father and my sister are really big into NASA and SpaceX and all of the exploration that's going on of the heavens, right? And I've been really into that ever since I was a kid. I mean, I was born the year that we landed on the moon for the first time. Yeah, I'm that old. So there's a part of the moon in me, right? Well, there are some experiences on the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 native to those headsets that you can do right now. 2 of those are Mission ISS and Apollo 11. Now, Mission ISS is actually just a little, it's almost like I'd say it's a walkthrough of the International Space Station, except there's no gravity, so you're not walking. So you actually pull yourself through 0G, through the International Space Station, and you can see what the inside of it is like. You can even see what it looks like to look out at the Earth from the International Space Station. It is so cool and immersive. If you're at all a space nut, even if you have a small interest in space, Mission ISS is a great one, and it's free. Absolutely free. The next one, Apollo 11. Also, this one is not free, but it's not terribly expensive. I don't know what that's costing right now. I'll probably bring it up on the screen here once I can find that out. It's not very expensive, but it actually walks you through the Apollo 11 experience, from liftoff to landing on the moon to walking on the moon. It is so cool, and it even starts out with JFK's speech about how we're going to get to the moon and back by the end of the decade. It is so cool. It's less of a game. Again, it's more of an experience. You're experiencing it. There are some little things that you can do as you're going through there to be a part of it, but you're in the position of the astronauts taking this journey. In addition to that one, I should also mention Felix and Paul. Now, Felix and Paul is a company that makes these incredible 360-degree 3D videos from the International Space Station. Now, these are actual videos. This is not an experience where you're moving through it. You're in the center kind of watching this entire thing, and you can look all around you. It's in 3D. Incredible. They have, I think it's called Space Explorers. If you look up Space Explorers, you should be able to find it. Those, I believe, are free as well, or at least a bunch of them are free, and then there might be a couple that are paid if you really like those other ones. But one of the best ones I ever saw was when they took a spacewalk from the International Space Station. And you're actually watching it happen right in front of you as if you were out there yourself. Again, this is video. It's not an animated recreation. It's not a 3D recreation. It's video of an actual spacewalk off the International Space Station. Next up, I'm a big ocean fan myself. I love sharks. I love whales. I'm a scuba diver, very avid scuba diver. And one of my favorite things is called Ocean Rift. This is a wonderful kind of scuba diving simulator on a small scale where you can kind of swim around like you're under the water, and you can see sea turtles and dolphins and killer whales and stuff like that. Absolutely cool. And if you have a Quest 3 headset, they now have an augmented reality where you can turn your own house or your own living room into an aquarium where you can look through the walls of your own house and see the sharks swimming out there and stuff. The first time I did that, I just had to have been grinning from ear to ear. It is so cool. So Ocean Rift, if you have, for the inner marine biologist or oceanographer in you, you will get a real kick out of it. It's well worth the $10, I think that it costs, something like that. Very inexpensive for a really, really cool experience that anyone can enjoy. And it's not a game. It's just a great experience. A couple of others real quick here. We're getting toward the end, no worries. But another one is called Wolves in the Walls. Now, this is an animated movie. It's kind of an animated movie that you are a part of. You're brought into the movie. And in some ways, you're interacting with the main character. This is an experience that is based on a story by Neil Gaiman, who you may or may not know has created many incredible graphic novels and stories over the years. And Wolves in the Walls is one of the most endearing and emotionally connective experiences I've ever had in virtual reality. I felt connected to this main character that's just an animated character, but I felt connected in ways that I didn't think were quite possible. Wolves in the Walls is so worth your time to experience this. I think it's in 3 parts, and the whole experience is maybe, 20, 30 minutes at the most, but it really is something that you won't forget quickly, and will leave an imprint on you as one of the probably most meaningful VR experiences that you've had to date. Next up is VRChat. If you've been in virtual reality at all for any period of time, I'm sure you've heard of VRChat. It is an incredible social platform. It's an incredible place for people to create their own worlds, to go in and chill together, to create games in together and experiences. You can do escape rooms. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do in VRChat, and VRChat is completely free, and it will run on your Quest 2 or your Quest 3 headset natively. Really, really cool. Endless hours of fun experiences that you can have by yourself, with your friends, or even with complete strangers. Check out VRChat. And last but not least is one of the very first experiences I ever did in virtual reality, and I still maintain that it is one of the coolest experiences yet today. And it's kind of a game, but not really. It's more of an experience, and that is Vader Immortal. I am a massive Star Wars fan, I'm not going to lie. A huge Star Wars fan. I've loved it ever since I was an 8-year-old kid when it came out in movie theaters and I saw it for the very first time. And Vader Immortal brings you into the world of Star Wars. And Star Wars is happening all around you, and you're a character there, and you're being led through this journey. And don't worry, you can't die, you can't lose. It's not, like I said, it's not a game, it's more of an experience, but you do take part in it. You have to do some challenges and little puzzles, and you have to climb some things, you know, using your hands in VR and interact with characters and use a lightsaber. Yes, you get to use a lightsaber, and it feels amazing when you light that thing up for the first time, zoom, and it makes that sound, and boom, boom, when you're swinging around. Incredible. I cannot recommend Vader Immortal enough. It comes in 3 parts. They probably sell them all together right now. You can usually get them at a very inexpensive price. They kind of go on sale from time to time. I relaunch Vader Immortal at least once a year. I go back in and do the whole experience. The whole experience will take you maybe, I don't know, an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, maybe a little bit more, you know, if you take your time. But I go in and I do that at least once a year because I just love it. And the first time that you see Darth Vader in front of you, life-size, breathing and talking directly to you, it is incredible. It's terrifying. It's awe-inspiring. I absolutely loved it. Vader Immortal, check it out. Okay, that brings us to the end of this video. I'm sorry it was probably a little longer than it should have been. But again, I could talk about each one of these experiences multiple times. If you enjoyed this video at all, please like and subscribe to this channel. If you liked it at all, again, don't do it for me. No skin off my back if you didn't like this. That's okay. And you can comment below and let me know what you didn't like. How can I make these videos better? I want to hear from you. I will respond to every comment that comes in. So far, I've done that with every single video that I've done. I intend to continue doing that. We're going to keep this conversation going. But if you liked this at all, please do subscribe. I'll be bringing new videos to you constantly. If I'm not in the virtual world, I'm in the real world, making videos about the virtual world for the real world to enjoy. This is Jolly Julian, out of here.